starting starting our conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. My name is Doug Brunke. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. We are here, assembled here today, for League of Opportunities. It's part two. We had almost a day ago, it seems like a day ago, part one, and some really interesting opportunities. Today we have even more. And we're actually already starting to queue up next month as well. So if you have some opportunities that you're aware of, let us know, and we'll love to be able to weave that in. Today, the focus is on about 5 different opportunities. We may have some time at the end, and so feel free to, if you've got some information, certainly your contact information, share it along the way. We'll have time for questions. I re-encourage all the speakers they'll typically have 8 to 10 minutes total. And then if you could allot your time to be about half content and then the other half for questions, that would be ideal. If you have questions, please raise your hand, through the app, ideally. And if not, then, we'll do the unmuting and kind of go from there. But it just helps to facilitate a little bit more if you raise your hand. And it probably give you a better chance to ask your question as well. I think I wanted to start with changes immigration. I know there might be 1 or 2 of you here today. I know, Madia, you were on our list to speak. Are you here?
Madia's ill today. I'm here, Doug. This is Samar.
Okay, very good. So that explains. Cesar did mention that you were going to be here, but I didn't know whether that meant Madia was also going to be here. So I'm sorry about that to hear. Hopefully she gets well soon, but we get the big boss here. So thank you for joining us and hopefully letting us know more about what's going on with changes immigration. With the new election in the UK, certainly there's some big changes, and I've been just watching some of your posts, and in fact I think we even reposted something from you in our LinkedIn group. The government shift is going to create some probably better situations in many ways. So we're very interested to hear more about that and any other opportunities that you have. Thanks for your leadership. Thanks for your membership. What would you like to share today?
Shall I share a quick slideshow just to help introduce?
That's like a dentist saying, shall I use the drill now? Well, or should I use the drill, or should I just talk to you? I always like conversations, but if you'd like to use your if you have information on the slides, feel free to share. That works as well.
Oh, it's more just like pictures of us, which I think biologically people tend to perk up, but that's fine.
We like to see you.
Here I am. Behold. I'm Samar Shams. I'm managing partner at Changes Immigration. We're a London-based immigration law firm, and we handle UK inbound matters, but also some specific global mobility matters. I'll talk about that in a minute. So I'll just tell you a little bit about us, our services, which I think is where the opportunities that we're here to discuss lie, give some examples of our work, and then hopefully have a few minutes to talk about the changes on the horizon, including what Doug was mentioning about the recent election in the UK. So changes immigration, I'll just start with our values because I do think they're important. Our core values are respect, innovation, and excellence. So in terms of respect, that really is the basis for everything we do. And it in turn really stems from our belief in equality. We are a for-profit business, but our why is basically mitigating the effects of borders on businesses who are trying to access talent and on individuals to enable them to live and work where they want. That's our why, because everybody's equal. In terms of innovation, I'm obsessed with efficiency, and that is a huge benefit to our clients. So I'm always interested in leveraging tech, and also just processes, workflows, et cetera, to best benefit the client. So it really allows us to deliver a great value service. Meanwhile, I'm a huge immigration nerd. So I'm very particular about ensuring very high quality level of service. So those are our values. We're a small team based in the UK, but growing, hopefully. We handle business immigration matters and personal immigration matters. So in terms of opportunities, what I think will be of most interest to people on the call here today is that we can support businesses that want to expand to the UK. There are very particular visa types for that. It's important to get advice early on, because if you start taking steps, if you start engaging in certain activities, you could be shooting yourself in the foot in terms of eligibility for the best visa options for you. So it is important to seek advice early on. There are all kinds of visas that can be used for that. I'm familiar with the whole range of work and business visas, so I can offer that kind of strategic advice. One route relies on self-sponsorship, or what I've trademarked as the sponsorpreneur route, where basically you set up a company in the UK and that company sponsors you to work in the UK as a skilled worker. That's actually now a robust option since a change in the rules a couple of years ago. So we help with those types of business expansion visas. Some examples of that are the Global Talent Visa, that's specifically available to people in tech and the arts and academics. We have a really good track record of success with those types of applications, even though they are relatively difficult to secure usually. And we are now also helping people accommodate the UK's shift to e-visas. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but it has to do with our wider compliance services and training services, everything around business and work immigration. We also help with personal immigration, though, and one of our specialisms is partner visas. So a spouse visa or unmarried partner, same-sex partners as well. This is a very tricky type of application in the UK because there's a financial requirement that has to be met, and it can be met in different ways through employment income, through cash savings. But what the Home Office accepts as evidence of meeting the requirement is very particular. And so this is the type of application that people go off and do themselves, get refused, and then come to us for help. Ideally, you just come to us from the get-go. Don't waste your time and money. Yeah, that's a particular area of expertise for us. We also help with settlement applications, citizenship applications. There are other visa types that allow work for individuals without being sponsored, so ancestry visas. But yeah, a wide range of immigration services for individuals as well. Now, in terms of global mobility, that can mean a lot of different things. For us, basically, it's a kind of project management service that we offer for international companies. Maybe one company's buying another and people's visas have to change in 7 jurisdictions. So the client doesn't want to be dealing with 7 lawyers in 7 jurisdictions with 7 different levels of English proficiency, right? So we act as a kind of project manager for those types of projects. Maybe there's a contract project where they want consistent provisions in contracts in a number of different jurisdictions. We can organize that kind of thing. That's the type of global mobility project we can help with. So as I said, I'm a big...
Fantastic.
Thank you. So as I said, I'm a big immigration nerd, so I do tend to engage in thought leadership a fair amount. I'm a immigration advisor to the Institute of Directors. I'm on their business advisory panel. I'm a member of a number of different communities at the local, national, and international level. And we're very much engaged in the wider immigration scene, even with types of applications that we don't deal with. We don't deal with asylum and refugee law, but we did recently sponsor a competition for freedom from torture, for example, an art competition. And I love the intersection of art and immigration. That's my thing.
Wow.
So in terms of what distinguishes us, it's really based on our USP is kind of based on my career path. I spent a lot of time as what's usually called a professional support lawyer. My title was practice development lawyer because I had a few additional duties, but basically the core responsibilities of a professional support lawyer are knowledge for their team. So precedents, keeping up with changes, things like that. So I did that. And I developed processes for doing that. And I was also in charge of business systems, so workflows. Those two responsibilities fit really well together. I also had marketing responsibilities, supervisory responsibilities for junior members of the team. Basically, I've been honing processes for keeping up with changes in the law, adapting our precedents accordingly, adapting our workflows accordingly, communicating that to contacts and clients. So we're doing all of that really efficiently. Since I set up Changes Immigration, I've kind of supercharged that with tech in terms of automated workflows, and we're now incorporating AI, looking to incorporate AI. So just some very quick examples of work.
We're gonna need to wrap up because we're right around 10 minutes here. So any final comments before we take maybe one question?
Well, I'll just address your point about changes coming through with the new Labor government.
Okay.
And one reason I'm hopeful is that they've said that they will take recommendations from the Migration Advisory Committee, which the outgoing government didn't. So I'm hoping there will be at least more reasonability in the policymaking. I'll end with that. Please do let me know if there are any questions.
Who would you like to connect up with in the next few weeks?
So our kind of ideal contact would be a HR officer in a medium growing company, maybe in tech, but they're growing quite quickly. They're the kind of people who need talent. Anybody seeking to expand to the UK or thinking about that, whether as an individual or an established business overseas that wants to move to the UK. So I would say that those are our two primary kind of target contacts. If anybody can think of people to introduce me to, I'd be very grateful.
Fantastic. No, sounds like, and maybe somebody like Andrew Rauch, his company helps people find folks, and going back and forth, that might be a logical connection for you, among others. So if any of you have some ideas, please feel free to help Samer identify folks. Your comment about art reminded me of something I saw yesterday in the store. Someone had a handbag over their shoulder, and it said on the side of it, "There are artists among us." And which also reminds me, we could probably have a handbag that we offer at Global Chamber. There are global tribers among us. And so we lurk below the surface and we're out there. Thank you very much, Samer. Please put your information
so much
in the chat. Really great information. So expert and so promising. Now it sounds like that there is at least some more progress. Let's now go to Daniel Lippincott, who I don't know real well, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more. I know, Daniel, you know Yuka Nakasone, and so tell us a little bit more about what you're involved with and what your opportunity is, or what your opportunities are, and how we can help.
Great. Can everyone hear me all right?
We can. Perfect.
Good. Well, I'm pleased to be here and a new member of Global Chamber, and thanks to Yuka for bringing me on board eventually. Basically, my company, I'm a solopreneur, and my backgrounds are in audio production, web design, and now more than ever podcasting, because that's a good use of my audio skills, and the podcasting industry is growing fast. So I guess, the web design thing is an aspect that I make available and do for work, but today I'm going to focus on the podcasting element, because I feel like I have a lot of opportunities for the community. I've met a number of Global Chamber individuals that are doing podcasts, and there's a million ways to do a podcast. Some are very off the cuff, some are highly produced and professional, some are just like sort of getting a job done. I think what I would briefly point out, if it's not obvious to everyone already, is that podcasting has become a really potent way to brand your company and promote your services, make your presence known. Of course, some of them are more artistically driven, but regardless of what kind of podcasts you want to do or are doing, production values matter. And so what I can provide includes audio editing, sound design, scoring, there's the writing of show notes. There's consultation that I could provide for members that are getting involved with that. And then there's the nitty gritty of the publishing and distribution. And there's a lot of services that make it pretty easy. But I think that, in terms of like addressing a pain point for members of a community that want to be doing podcasting or are doing it, it's just this sort of daunting aspect of how many details go into it. And anybody can record a Zoom meeting and pop it up on Spotify or YouTube. But for those people in our community here that would like to maybe take their production to another level or add some musical elements that would increase, the listener's experience, that's something I can help with. And so I think basically making things sort of short and sweet, I'm definitely hoping to connect with people through the chamber that are involved with podcasting, either with their own or even referrals are certainly welcome right now. I'm at a pivot point where in the next month to 2 months, I'll be really taking on new clients as I phase a couple out and make some personal life transitions. So I'll have more time on my plate to take on new clients. So I'll be excited to hear from anybody on this call that is interested in that kind of work. As far as, who to connect with, this, podcasting can be an individual pursuit. So I'm certainly not turning down anybody that has sort of the passion project that they want to pursue, but also for companies. And I think there's a lot of business owners here. As I say, it is a branding tool that's very powerful. So it could be a small company or a company of any size. Even podcasting done internally within a company for their own employees is not unheard of and can be a beneficial thing to communicate whatever is going on in the organization that everyone needs to know about. And I think finally there was a question of like, what opportunity am I providing? And I wanted to make an offer today to everyone at this call of one podcast episode of 30 minutes or less, where all the audio editing will be provided by me. So, removing those filler words, keeping a good pacing on the interview and the dialogue. A lot of things happen in a live recording and everything seems fine when you're doing it. And then you listen back and you're like, that client didn't sound very good, or I stumbled over some words or whatever. But the time-consuming audio editing process is a whole other thing. So people might be surprised to find out how much better things can sound with a little bit of finessing of those recordings after the fact. So I'm offering 1 episode audio editing free of charge to kind of get the ball rolling with anybody here who wants to see what I can do for them. And hopefully that'll lead to more work together in the future. And, you know, I think that covers the bases. I don't want to take a lot of people's time, so we'll leave it at that. And if there's any questions, please let me know.
Does anybody have a question? I don't see any hands raised, but anybody here a podcaster or interested in podcasting?
Good morning, Doug. Opal Najaman here. I'm definitely interested. Daniel, what would be the best way to contact you? Would you be able to drop me?
Email is great. I will put it in the chat right after we're done chatting. I will put my contact information right here in the chat box. So I'm also on WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is great, and that's connected with my American number. I'm on the call from Spain where I live now, but WhatsApp is great.
Are you in Barcelona?
I live north of Barcelona in a region called Costa Brava.
Okay, very good. Have you already joined GC Communities then with your WhatsApp account?
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool. Welcome. And I know our Spain WhatsApp group is one of our strongest ones, and it's been kind of a model that we've developed over the last few months. Yuka has developed that is working really well. So thank you for your leadership there. We're going to continue to move on. I'm going to just kind of pick out a couple people. So sorry if you're in the audience, I might pick you out just to say hi. I'm not meaning to put you on the spot, but at Global Chamber, always be prepared to answer the question, you know, who are you? Meaning, you know, who you're looking to meet or what's going on, that kind of thing, just for a minute or so. And one person who's very good at that and very, I probably and hopefully well known by most of you is Mijong Hibbets. Mijong Hibbets is our executive director in Baltimore, Washington. She's a very successful international leader. She was originally in the food ingredients business, and then she left that to start her own company. And now she's connecting people between the United States and the world. A lot of work in Korea. So, Mijong, you're not unmuting, or you're not. So I'm not sure you have the availability to speak right now. But can you just say hi and what's going on in BWI?
Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Doug, for introducing me here. And sorry about for not being able to actually turning on my camera. But I have some of the folks here that I know, and then also I'm working with are here. So I'm glad to see them here as well. As Doug mentioned, I'm leading the chapter in Baltimore, Washington area. And we do have quite the dynamic groups here in Washington, D.C., and always looking for some way to, to connect and then help them to grow through chamber connections. And particularly here for the support to one of our speaker from our chapter, Dr. Krupa Mehta. She's going to make a presentation shortly. And then also I'm working with Sarah from North Carolina on some of the AI project for connecting South Korean AI companies with the US markets. So glad to be here, and I'm working on some of the events that I'm going to put in the fall. So yeah, thank you very much.
One thing that Mijong is really good at are the events that are at events. So at Select USA, for instance, Mijong was there with a bunch of Global Chamber members. I'm not sure if anybody here was there, but people in economic development. I saw Barb Lemieux earlier from Wisconsin, probably was there at that. And also, just to keep on your radar screen, CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Every year, there's a very strong Korean delegation there. So typically, Mi Jong and Dr. Yun of the Global Chamber Seoul and our other chapters in Korea are there. And we are planning to do an event there with Erica Herval, our Global Chamber Las Vegas chapter lead. So if you're interested in CES and that's of interest, have that on your radar screen. We're going to be in Vegas in January. Ms. Zhang mentioned about Dr. Krupa Mehta. She is going to be our next speaker. I don't see you in there for some reason.
Hi.
Hi. How are you,
Hi.
Dr. Mehta?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Are you actually in
Yeah.
San Francisco or are you back in
No,
Baltimore?
just back end, like I had changed that one, so it's like visible.
Well, thank you for your membership, and you came on as a member of Global Chamber, and as part of that, you were actually helping with the chapter and doing some of the
Yeah.
marketing. So thank you for all the help there. What
Yeah, thank you.
opportunity are you going to be sharing today?
Yeah, thank you so much. Special thanks to you and Jong, because like you people are supporting me a lot, and it's like basically, I'm providing that marketing and branding kind of support to Global Chamber as well. And I'm ready to provide all the platform which is available in India for that development of startup and entrepreneurship, because I do have that expertise as well. So those who are looking forward some fund and mentoring and coaching and overseas support, that also I can provide along with marketing and branding strategy, because I do have the 12 years of relevant experience in the field of marketing, branding, entrepreneurship, and startup. And along with that, like in education as well. So I would like to share my website as well to the all chamber members and especially you and our leader. So I'm ready to provide and very flexible for that education. Especially, it's my passion. So for that, I'm very much interested for education, marketing, and branding. Thank you so much for providing such a wonderful platform.
Fantastic. So it sounds like you're providing marketing services, and ideally, what would be the best people for you to meet?
Yeah, so ideally, it's like in education, if we can talk about, I can meet university, like professor and those who are handling the international department, because I can provide that platform to the university in USA, because I do have lots of connection in India, like students and the other people, those who want to come here and they need to develop such platform over here. So likewise, I can promote that international relation towards university, and for startup and entrepreneur also I can provide that marketing and entrepreneurship support.
Okay. So Christina Wachter here on the call has as a professor at the University of Utah, my alma mater, and she's a cross-cultural expert. So undoubtedly there's
Super.
Potentially some connectivity there. Christina,
Yeah,
thank you
sure.
for joining today. I know you were trying to join yesterday. There were some technical problems.
Yes,
So
technical. And like I can contribute in university likewise to teach any management related subject, because that is also like my passion, because I have contributed a lot, 12, 13 years in the education field. So
okay, very good.
yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Mehta?
Thank you so much, Doc.
Oh, our pleasure.
Yeah.
Very good. And I always love to see the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, Mi Jong, because she is also like supporting me a lot. So thank you so much.
Okay. She is amazing. On the
Yeah,
cross-cultural side that I mentioned with Christina, how do you weave that into your marketing? Because I presume you're cross-cultural yourself.
yes.
Very good. Well, maybe we can facilitate a conversation with Christina. What do you think, Christina? Do you end up doing some of your work with marketing firms and with helping companies on their marketing side?
Absolutely. In fact, I love to work with marketing directors, because often I found in my research that's one of the areas that you overlook, and I can't wait to connect with you, Krupa. I'll reach out to you in the chat and we can get our information that way. But it's great to be here. It's great to see you, Doug. And I am, as you mentioned, I'm cross-culture communication specialist, and I'm thrilled to be developing an educational platform for the London Intercultural
super.
Center, which I've met through Global Chamber. And I'm ready to work with individuals and groups in terms of cross-cultural communication strategies and leadership strategies associated with cross-culture communications. And it's great to be here.
Yeah,
And
so
last
looking
night,
forward to work with you. Thank you so much.
she's amazing, not just
Oh,
because
nice.
she's affiliated with the University of Utah.
Uh-huh.
Thank
It's
you.
really great.
You
So
know,
I'm
last
also
night,
like Maryland. Yeah.
last
Sorry.
night we were introduced together.
Mhm.
A potential new member of Global Chamber introduced me to Christina.
Oh, super.
I know that
Like,
was funny, huh?
thank
So it's
you.
all about
Yeah,
connecting dots. I'm also in Maryland.
you're. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. What was that?
I'm also in Maryland, Parkville, nearby Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay, very good. And so that's convenient for some folks. So
Yeah.
please leave your information in the chat area, and thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
sure. Thank
It
you
was-
so much.
It's been great to see how you've gotten your feet on the ground, having moved there, and thank you so much again for all the help that you provided.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Always there, and thank you so much to you also.
You, as long as we're talking, is I thought Linda, are you there? Did I lose you? Linda Cazares is, I think she must have dropped out at the bottom of the hour. So why I wanted to mention about Linda, she does photography, and it's virtual photography, which I haven't heard of that angle before. And just as an example of a success story, a few days ago, she said, hey, there's this law firm and they're hiring a lot of remote people. That's exactly what I do really well, do their photography. Do you know them? And I have, they're members of Global Chamber. And so I reached out, and I reached out to the marketing head. She wanted somebody else, but I know the marketing person. And I asked her, could you potentially be interested in this? And she said, absolutely. In fact, I need to get you immediately to our team because they're actually trying to figure that out right now. And so within 24 hours, it turned into potentially, a gig. And so whenever you see an opportunity like that, don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. We're, always open to making a connection and making it work for you. That's what we're here for. And before I move on to the next speaker, Sally Pace is in the room, and Sally is a relatively new member, actually a very new member as well, from CHC. She's in the healthcare space, and I don't know whether Sally. Oh, we see you now, yay! And I know I don't want to put you on the spot, but I just wanted to say hi. And as I've learned more about what you're doing, it's really phenomenal, very unique and special healthcare offering. Could you just introduce yourself briefly and just to say hi? And you're in Memphis. You're in Memphis
Yes.
today?
Yes, soon to be home of Elon Musk's supercomputer.
Oh, really? I had not
Yes.
heard of that. Okay,
Yes.
interesting. Go figure.
Using
Well,
our fabulous water. We have lots of it. Thank you. Yes, Sally Pace, CHC. We are an employee benefits marketing firm, and we touch every component of the benefits spectrum. So we help healthcare solutions. So you think wellness programs, specialty drug carve-out, international drug sourcing solutions, market themselves to what's called the broker, consultant, and employer space. We help employers educate their employees on the benefit solutions that they have available to them, how to understand the medical plan, how to navigate that. And as I put in the chat, it's a huge problem specifically for the United States. Predictions for 2025 are that most employers will receive an 8% rate increase on their medical plan. And I don't know about you guys, I will not be that generous with salary increases. So typically that cost is offset by, unfortunately, the working families that that show up at your job site every day. So that's what we do. We help educate and market solutions and help employees understand how to use those solutions.
Cesar Trabanco's in the background, and he'll make some final comments at the end of this program. One of the things he does during this is make connections, and then afterwards, he and Alyssa from Global Chamber are putting together what you all are saying and who you want to meet and what other connections we need to make. But I think Debbie Howard, who spoke last night, is a perfect introduction for you because of what she offers to employers around taking care of employees who are caregivers. 20% of employees are caregivers, and most employers don't have a program to handle that. And so Debbie is the world's expert on that, and probably can add some value to the overall service and probably connections back and forth as well. So, and then the other one was Mark Cohen, I was thinking of, who spoke last night as well. He's in the call here today. He's a big thinker and a big kind of amplifier of impact. And one of the things I think about, Sally, when I think of you and Ashley, your husband, both of you are big thinkers, movers and shakers, and folks like Mark and Debbie, both really big people, could be really interesting for both of you.
He beat you to it. Mark did. He's
in what way?
He's already reached out. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. I figured. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Can't wait to speak to Sally. You're awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you. So let's thank you very much as we move on to the next speaker, and that's I think it's Diego Martinez, although I'm not completely sure, given I think there might be a couple people in the call. Who's going to be the speaker for is it going to be you, Diego?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you hear me? So
you're with Inclusive Surrogacy, and you're I think also in Texas, right? Or
yes,
are you located?
Yes, we are located in San Antonio. So
okay, and so we know Monica because she's been such a key leader for us with the Global Chamber San Antonio chapter. So Gabriel or Diego, what would you like to share today? What opportunity should we be aware of?
Well, first of all, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Diego Martinez with Inclusive Surrogacy. We are a surrogacy agency company here located in San Antonio, Texas. We mostly work
camera work? I'm sorry, is your camera working? Or
I thought it was on here. Let me check. Is it working now?
It's just dark.
Okay. There we go.
There it comes. Yeah, there you go.
Great. Okay, can you see me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Awesome. No worries.
So yes, we are located here in San Antonio, Texas. So like I was just talking to Sally, she works with also with ARC. They have a network of physicians, and we have worked with them before, but we mainly focus here in Texas with fertility clinics. So we do the matching process with individuals or couples or same-sex couples that are going through infertility issues, or they're looking for a surrogate mother. A surrogate mother is a woman that is willing to carry the baby for them. So that is gestational surrogacy. So we do the matching with the fertility clinics. We do the matching with attorneys, the psychologists. So I would say it's kind of like a dating website. So we make sure that all the parties involved, like the intended parents, the surrogates, the egg donor, they are very involved in the process, as well as the fertility clinics. So, and that's what we do here in San Antonio. I mean, it's also, I mean, I would say for our network, I mean, if you know family law doctors that practice on family law, that's actually very beneficial for us. Fertility doctors, if you know any physicians that are into fertility, also let us know. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Do you handle families from all over the world there at the
Yes,
center?
yes, we do here.
Okay.
Yes, we do. We have families coming from Australia, Mexico. That's also another place that because I'm originally from Mexico City, but also we work with a lot of Mexican doctors in Mexico because we are also looking into opening the process in Mexico. Right now, the laws are not very favorable for the surrogacy process, but hopefully within 2 years, it's going to be more favorable for the process to be able to be done in Mexico. So yes, we have Mexico, we have people from China, we have Australia, Czechia, the Czech Republic, Germany. That's also another place that we have couples coming from. So we have a really big network. I mean, it's like, yeah.
Congratulations. So family law firms
Yes.
getting to know what you're doing are the things going on in Texas impacting you, or the kind of all of the laws and various other changes in any
No,
way?
actually, believe it or not, the laws here in Texas are very favorable for surrogacy. It protects the surrogate mother and it protects the intended parents as well. So basically, all the parties involved are well protected within Texas. I mean, also, it's a big surprise to me that also Texas, being Texas a little bit conservative, it also has so many laws that actually protects both parties, the intended parents and the surrogate mothers as well. So it's very favorable. It's one of the most safe states, I would say. I mean, some people, even people coming from other places, they're actually amazed, especially coming from Germany, or let's say they're same-sex couples as well. And they say, oh, well, we're kind of afraid of Texas. Then we explain how the process works here in Texas. And they're like, wow, we didn't know it was this safe. So for us, it's a big market.
That's good to hear. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions for Diego?
Doug, not a question, but maybe just a comment. Very excited Diego, what you're doing. I've actually had the experience of adopting a child from Mexico here in the state of Texas, and I can vouch that from the political spectrum to the service providers, it's a phenomenal place. They try to make it as easy as possible to bring families together. So kudos to you.
Yeah, it is. And you already know that Texas also has a really good network of physicians and doctors. I mean, the healthcare system here in Texas is probably one of the best in the nation. I mean, compared to other states like Illinois. I used to live in Chicago, but also the healthcare in Illinois, I would say it's not the best. I mean, actually, Texas has better healthcare system than it does in other states. And I'm actually also very surprised that it does, because I mean, you would never guess that. And people, I think they need to be reassured that Texas, it's a booming economy at the end of the day.
Thanks for sharing that. And thanks very much, Andrew, for the question. Thanks. Please leave your information in the chat area. Great organization. How is Monica doing? Haven't seen her.
She's doing really good. Right now she's working with some nonprofits. Right now she's working for the I believe it's the San Antonio International Council for International Visitors. So now she's writing proposals for the State Department. So she's also bringing delegations, ambassadors, and other people from different parts of the world to bring them here to San Antonio to understand how, because also San Antonio, it's a very military city. So they have bases and they bring other delegations to understand how they do the process here in the US, so they can exchange ideas on how they do their work over wherever they're coming from, and to learn something from here. So it's beneficial for both countries. So now she's taking on that role as well. So
it's the International Visitor Leadership Program, IVLP, that's 75 years old. There's 92 locations across the US that manage those. And it's it's mind boggling and also world changing the impact it has to bring foreign visitors into the U.S., have them stay for about 3 weeks and connect up with Americans, develop relationships, go back to their countries, become friends of the U.S., and also have an impact. And so it's a great diplomacy program that shouldn't be cut. Those are the ones that always are on the bubble when people say they're going to cut back on the social things. It's one of the most valuable things the U.S. government does. And so thank you for highlighting that.
No problem.
Let's continue to go around the room. That's, I think, the main bulk of our speakers, but we did have Israel Malyahi, who had a quick pitch for his business. And I think you're in Kampala. Israel, are you available just to say what's going on with you? And you have a quick pitch you wanted to make. Israel, are you there?
Yes, I'm around.
Hey, how are you?
Hello. I'm fine. How are you too, sir?
Oh, there you are. I found you.
Can you hear me, please?
Uh-oh. You might have to take off your camera because the
Can you
Wi-Fi
hear
is.
me? Hello? Hello. But can you hear me, everyone?
We
Hello?
can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay, thank you so much. So let me introduce myself. My name is Zane. I'm the founder of that, and of course, our company deals with agro input solution, but also we conduct some training to farmers to make sure that the inputs that we sell to them are used properly and they contribute to the change of production in respect to crops, but also livestock. We are in operation for about 6 years now. Our achievement is that we have managed to increase our capital from $5,000 to $9,000 since we started. So this is a big achievement, but also we have increased the number of customers from 6,200 to 26,200. So we've increased the number of customers for 6 years now. Actually, our vision is to make sure that our customers, who are the farmers, increase the utilization and also increase the affordability of inputs to make sure that if our farmers can manage to use inputs appropriately and increase the utilization, it means we contribute to the change of production, meaning the production, if production increases, automatically the income of our customers in our communities will increase too. So in simple is what we are doing. So we are looking for the support in order to increase the inventory of the products here in Tanzania. For anyone who can connect to some stakeholders or supporters, will be helpful for that. So simply is what we are doing, and we are based in Tanzania, East Africa. Thank you very much for your listening. In case you have any questions, we can clarify.
Okay. It was a little hard to hear. Cesar, are you there? And is there anything else that you wanted to add there in terms of helping out Israel here?
Hi, Doug. Hi, everyone. Yeah, no, we've been working with Israel, trying to connect him with people and organizations interested in investing in Africa. And so I based on the information shared by Israel before, he's either looking for angel investors or people looking for equity or even loans that he can use for the business expansion. So that's we continue looking for some connection for him, but that's the main reason why I invited him to the call. So that with more members knowing about his business and looking for ways to support.
Yeah, the agriculture connection, it might make sense. And I don't know, Shaban, if you'd be open and interested, or if you've even spoken with Israel yet, but you're so good at what you do, and that's not, I don't think, necessarily a targeted region for you, but I know you're active in Africa. And would you mind speaking with Israel a little bit about what they're doing and maybe have some ideas for him?
Yeah,
Absolutely. I'd be very happy. Israel, just find me on LinkedIn. It's my LinkedIn is in the chat, and we are Growing to Give. And yes, we have partners in Africa. We have a Growing to Give in South Africa. And we have a project in Uganda that just won a grant. So we're gonna be there a lot.
Fantastic. Could you let everybody know what you're involved with? What's going on with you?
I'm Siobhan Shaw. I am the co-founder of Growing to Give. It is a very innovative global nonprofit. And we work in Africa, the United States, and the Caribbean. And we bring sustainable systems to small-scale farmers and community farms and gardens to help them increase their yield, reduce their water and fertilizer labor and space issues that they have. And we are in the top 48 of the world's largest environmental prize, the Food Planet Prize. And we have an amazing new partnership, Doug, in Phoenix called the Food Forest Initiative. So the Phoenix Food Forest Initiative. And we're working with a local group that are planting fruit and nut trees, sugarcane, vegetables along the pathways and byways of the South Phoenix area between, I think it's 32nd and 37th and Roosevelt and Van Buren. So if you know that area, it's a low income, climate vulnerable area. It's barren, high homelessness and low income, of course, area. And so we're really excited to be doing that with them. And we are the nonprofit arm of that. And I also host a show called Feel Good, Share Good with celebrity naturopath Dr. Ronnie DeLuz from Martha's Vineyard, who is very busy right now helping detox a group of people. And I'm one of them. And it's been amazing. I used to be in the weight loss industry a long, long time ago, and I had to, fork out $400 or $500 a week for my food at these corporate weight loss programs. And within, I think I'm on day 14. I'm on day 14 and I've released 18 pounds and I feel amazing. And for business, when you just don't want to get up in the morning for your calls, or we want to have a nap in the afternoon. It's just changed my world and my perspective. So I'm really excited about that. And Dr. Ronnie is just the bomb. She is just an amazing person. So, and one day Growing to Give will be on Martha's Vineyard, I'm sure, because she's really gunning for it, that we come and do a community garden or farm on Martha's Vineyard. Because it's not all celebrity all the time on Martha's Vineyard. There are people that are food insecure there.
No question. That's a great place for it. Thank you for sharing. Before we close the room, does anybody else have any urgent things that need to be said? Anything coming up that we should know about? We have about a minute to go. And hearing none. Cesar, what's on tap?
Hey, Doug, I'm interested in Jim's question. Jim is asking, has anyone on the panel has been affected by the Microsoft CrowdStrike mess? And it will be great to learn. I don't know if anyone here has been affected by that.
I don't even know what it is. So I guess I need to read the newspaper.
Yeah, there's a global mess.
It's a global shutdown on IT on 5 or 6 in this country, probably another 5 or 6 airlines, banks, Visa. CrowdStrike is a cybersecurity, did a software download and just shut everything down.
Okay. Well, anybody affected by it? I know there was a member this morning that said that their daughter was impacted. I'm not sure who that. Oh, it was Yuka. Yuka Nakasone's daughter just started in the airline industry. She has a new job, and this is like her first day, or she's going through a lot right now. So hopefully your day, all of you, will be better than that. Being Friday, hopefully the weekend is as well. Take some time off. Enjoy a little bit of peace, and be global and unstoppable. Thanks for your support. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.